I haven't been this excited to try a balisong in a long time.
Same. Oh my God.
I haven't even flipped it yet, and I feel like I need to buy one.
17 individual pieces,
and you
not
have the
including the hardware. This is one of the most unique balisongs we have ever looked at.
Oh, far and away.
People sketched these on napkins, and now we have them here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, they said.
Oh no.
Have you ever wanted a balisong to be made by a reputable company despite having basically no experience ever designing one? Nabalis, the company that we make these lovely products with.
Nabalis hosted a huge competition called Create with Nabalis, which was an awesome thing. Literally nobody has ever done anything like this in the history of the balisong community.
Anybody could submit a design to this competition. It could be a hand-drawn sketch to a full-blown animated 3D model. And they made 3 of these people's designs. And a lot of these people, they were not like huge members of the community. One of them, I believe, didn't even have a presence on Instagram. And that person won the competition.
That's so insane.
Which is crazy. And that balisong is one of the most complex balisongs ever made in the history of the hobby. And they all have their own story. A lot of it is documented on Nabalis' YouTube channel. They did long interviews with each person. There were so many designs, a lot of which were very interesting.
I did really enjoy going through because they had a whole website set up where you could vote on the different designs. I want to be clear, this was all community voted on. Like people from the community got to go and look at the various designs on this website and voted on the top competitors and decided on which ones they liked, which is exactly the reason that relatively small, like unheard of before people got to create their own dream balisong.
They spent 7 months developing these, and a lot of them, like I mentioned earlier, one of them is so complex they had to develop brand new manufacturing techniques to allow it to exist. The designers get a commission for each sale.
I believe it's a similar situation to the amount that we make off of like the Volp.
Yes.
So it's like they're not treating anybody differently, you know, just because we're content creators, we get a bigger cut than they do. Like, I believe it's a similar margin.
And it's incredibly cool that Nabalis is doing it. They have intentions to do more of them, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
And now we get to unbox every one of those balisongs. We have not touched them before.
I'm excited to learn. I'm excited that it might take a while for them to arrive because they are coming all the way from China.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Which is a long way that,
wow, look at that.
The magic of shipping all the way from China.
Wow, thanks. Maybe DHL? I don't know.
I guess.
Thank God that they conveniently blocked out our address.
Oh my God, thank you for
beforehand.
preemptively blocking out our
definitely did
address.
that.
And not me 10 minutes ago.
That wasn't 10 minutes ago, you fucking fraud.
It was
Wiley, don't lie to them.
Wiley, don't lie to them. Live Blade Volt
Here,
Pro.
you hold it like a baby and I'll cut into it like a baby.
Okay, Volt Pro, you can sharpen it.
William Ulrich von Lichtenstein Hirsch. There are 4 boxes and there are 3 Create with Nabalis products. So the boxes are cool. You pull this little tab thing and it changes.
Wow.
All right, so I'm a bit of a history nerd, so I'll be serving as a deliverer of information here. So
I'm gonna learn
this
something.
is the Overlord, which I haven't even touched. I'm handing it to you. This is the Overlord. Here's what the inside of the box looks like. It comes with some replacement hardware, a sticker, light handle indicators.
The Nabalis T10 alignment tool.
Yep.
Any Nabalis product comes with these, and this is one of the best things they've ever made. Nabalis ships these with a little like wrench attachment, which makes it look like a wrench.
Yeah,
I've only seen pictures of this one. It looks like, so you've got this really cool blade. I really like the design of this. It feels kind of Zelda-y.
So I actually know exactly where it's from. This is designed by somebody named Eripo, who does amazing art. Balisong related art, non-Balisong related art.
I've genuinely wanted to commission them for like a t-shirt design for us, so that'll probably happen at some point.
So you brought up Zelda. I guess a very strong source of inspiration for this was Warhammer 40K.
Oh, that makes sense.
Like specifically like alien races in Warhammer 40K.
That
like
makes
they have
sense.
different like things like that. Like there's like different like markings and stuff that represent that. Eripo's from Taiwan, is just into this kind of stuff.
That's something I did want to bring up.
Didn't have a huge background with like doing design work and like that, but just went for it. Managed to get 3rd place in the competition.
So it's really cool to me that the competition that Nabalis ran was so genuinely global.
Yeah.
And the people that won are so genuinely global. I did not like this one as much in the pictures, but I like it a lot in real life. The spacer, which is still aluminum, is this really nice green color.
It has a modular weight system too.
The play is insane.
Oh.
There's nothing at all. And I haven't lubed it yet or anything. That's out of the box. Whoa.
Okay, that makes sense that it has a mild ring to it.
Yeah, I like the little bit of ring. The thing that it is giving right now is Titan. You know how the Bite Blades Titan was floaty but weird?
Yeah.
This one's floaty but not weird.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
It retails for $70.
That's $70.
They continue to make things that, from a pricing standpoint, were unheard of.
Yeah. Genuinely.
Back in the day. And knowing just how much development time went into these two, we're of course affiliated with Nabalis in a variety of ways. I'm gonna give as real of thoughts as I possibly can on these things. And if I don't like it, I'm gonna say that I don't like it. But no, it seems like it carries a very consistent amount of momentum. It doesn't feel too handle or blade bias in any particular way. This texture is incredibly solid.
Yeah, well, Chaplin's great.
Chaplin's great.
Immediately. Oh.
I licked it mid-Chaplin, and I didn't stop the Chaplin. Look at that.
Wow.
Twirl test? It's not too much.
It feels nice to twirl.
Wow.
I'm already.
I'm extremely impressed by that.
Immediately, I am impressed. This is like quite good right off the bat, and it's super unique.
Zippy could have a field day filling those holes with his material.
Oh.
I heard Prism laugh.
Zippy sure does love filling holes with material.
He does do that. That's why he has 2 kids. There are hidden modular weights in there, that are little pins.
So that's the lightest
That's the lightest configuration. Wait, is this a modular weight system? That we actually like it? The default way that it came? And it didn't have fucking 500 Loctited T6 screws?
I like that it starts nice and light and floaty, and then you could have it go harder.
There's 6 weights included total.
If we can do this easily, you can do this easily.
Yeah, do not reassemble Balisongs floating.
Freehanding it. Okay, so we've filled 2 of the available 3 slots with these stainless steel weights that go in there, and they fit extremely well. They're not gonna rattle at all, which is great. This was a really easy disassembly and reassembly, even doing it the way we are. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of lube to this.
Please lube your Balisongs. If you have tap, if it's not swinging great, just lube it. I'm so curious if this flips better.
This now has 4 stainless steel weights altogether. Play is ever so slightly more than it was, but it's still almost literally nothing. That's a significant difference.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that is a usably significant difference. A lot of recent Balisongs that have modular weight systems, it's either too heavy or too light. So like with the Squid Industries Thai Kraken, right? If you take out like down to 3 weights, then it's almost useless. It's not like nearly enough weight. The Machine-Wise Thai Sasori, I came to learn to love it because it is supposed to be heavier, but it starts out quite heavy, and if you reduce the weight, even when you completely remove the weights entirely, it's still on the handle heavy side. Whereas this starts extremely neutral, if not slightly handle light, but it does have a handle bias now.
Oh yeah, and we still have 1 more weight we could put in there too. And for specific tricks, having that little bit of extra weight would be really beneficial. This is the third place. We're just getting started, y'all. If we came out of the gate with this level of quality for something like the Volt, that would be fantastic. It's a testament to the design and to what Nabalis was able to put together. I would recommend that to somebody for sure.
This is the second place Reverie?
So the Reverie is made by somebody named Neil Martin Cantillana. Lord forgive me if I horribly messed up that pronunciation. But Neil is from the Philippines.
Whoa, that's cool.
And has actually a lot of ties to Filipino Balisongs. Drew a lot of inspiration from a lot of sources. So Neil is an electrical engineering student and basically didn't know how to do like 3D modeling or anything like that, and was inspired to pursue it by Contraption Collection.
Cool.
Who made the Bally scissors, which haven't like officially released or anything, but
they are one of the coolest things.
It's one of the coolest YouTube channels that you can check out, and was inspired by watching Contraption Collection. It was like, I think I could do that. This has one of the craziest blades I've ever seen. I guess a big inspiration for this blade was just the look of Damascus steel.
Whoa. I will say, this was, at least out of the pictures that were all released, and I think this might have even been the one I voted for in the competition myself. Yeah. I really loved this from the beginning, from when I saw it. Like, this blade is just so genuinely unique to me with this really cool organic shape. It makes a lot of sense that it was inspired by, like, Damascus. I love this. I think immediately this is awesome. Oh, it does have a modular weight system.
Oh, that's right, it does. They all have a modular weight system.
Bottom.
Very NRB-esque. He's the first person to use that. The Glider Pacific uses a similar system.
Yes.
So there's a lot of inspiration included. If you look closely at that, it might look a little bit similar to a specific balisong that you have.
Oh my god.
So it is not a clone, it is not a copy, not anything like that.
We did a review of the JW magnet. If you want to watch that, you can click there. Yeah. One of the prized pieces in my entire collection. I love that it inspired this.
So also, the Palatheus Ronin. Ooh. One of the many sources he drew inspiration from were handmade makers like that. And I highly recommend you go and watch the full video on the Nabalis YouTube channel where they break it down. And him being from the Philippines was looking at specific Filipino style balisongs, but then was trying to merge that with modern balisongs, and now that's what came to fruition.
Yeah.
I just think that's so cool.
This feels simultaneously quite classical and quite new. First of all, same level of tolerances out of the box. Quite literally no play. Swing is not perfect, but not bad.
No play does not indicate a good swing.
A little, like if I do the machine-wise, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, it sticks a little bit.
Sticks a little bit right there, but that's
that
something
can
you
work
can
itself out too. It also has a unique sound to it.
Wow.
They both have a unique blade ring.
It's less floaty than that one. A little bit more handle biased. I can feel a little bit more control.
The Overlord is sandwiched with a spacer at the bottom. That is a full channel.
My initial guess is that this may be a situation of you probably shouldn't change the balance. It's really nice, but it is a little bit on the lighter side. Immediately out of the box, at least, this thing is super duper impressive.
But like a lot of aluminum balisongs are kind of samey in terms of that flipping experience, just from the nature of the material that's being used and the size of them.
Yeah.
Kaplan's good, it twirls good.
It feels nice. I like just the single line down the middle. It kind of reminds me of the Palatheus back line.
Feels a little bit more substantial in the hand. I'd say I like the sound of this one more. I like a good deep clack. It has a shocking amount of grip.
Yeah, no, it has good grip.
Yeah. It's a very Volt Pro-esque.
Yeah, it's got that aluminum. Like brushed aluminum.
Yeah, which is a lot more grippy than like a bead blasted aluminum that you find like a...
purples actually. You can see a distinct difference in the bead blasting. It's just like, it makes a lighter color and has more of a texture to it.
Yeah, it's just another kind of no nonsense thing. Yeah, I can feel that little bit of heaviness to it.
Super easy to adjust, literally just unscrewing it.
Yeah, it's just one of the screws.
And I love that, that's great.
There's just a hole.
I don't like how it looks as much.
You got some material for this hole? I got some material for a hole, but my girlfriend isn't here, so I'll save that. Unless... It kind of feels like the inverse of where the Overlord went. This is still fine to me.
Really?
Yeah,
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, there is certainly a difference.
Yeah. That's crazy that this small screw at the very end of the handles can modify the balance.
So that is actually the same reason that I did that with the Volt Pro. Like, I wanted the Volt Pro to have the hardware at the bottom, which you can remove and flip it just fine, and Zippy has inserts to, you know, fill the hole. Yeah. And I found that little bit of hardware carried way more momentum than I was expecting, and I think that just has to do with its, like, you know, location pretty far away from the pivots. It is, I would say, a little more unruly.
This is all just first impression stuff too, so this is not like our concrete, you know, we spent...
This is not a review.
Yeah, like our normal reviews, we'll have spent like a month or two with different balisongs and very, very thoroughly examine the flipping experience. So upon this first impression, I love, especially for a beginner, not having to worry about messing with the tune of it by having to take it apart. With the Overlord, you have to take it apart, because you hear people talk about, oh, this is too handle heavy, or this is too blade bias, or whatever, and it's just like, okay, but what does that actually feel like?
Yeah.
This is a way that you can explore
now you know.
that experience. I would be happy to have this as my first balisong.
Yeah,
I'd be happy to have it as my 50th balisong.
No, I genuinely will probably keep this one in my, like, collection as a thing that I flip on a regular basis. I like this one a lot. I guess we have one more?
I think we might have two more.
Oh, right.
So this is the winner of the huge Create with Nabalis competition. You had to get a lot of votes to win.
If you voted, leave a comment. Let me know which one you voted for. And if there's any that like didn't make it to fruition that you wish did, you know, what was your favorite from the competition, if it was one of these three or if it was something else.
I really liked the Desuko Flips Boba.
Oh yeah, I really liked the Boba. The Boba was
ones.
super cute.
Yeah. I haven't been this excited to try a Balisong in a long time.
Same. Oh my god. Oh my god. What? I've only seen renders of that thing and it looks even better in real life. This is crazy. Okay, yeah, the play is the same as the other ones. It is impeccable on mine at least. Swing out of the box is literally perfect, actually. This one doesn't have any bind. People underestimate how hard it is to tune a balisong.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when you're a company like Squid Industries or Nabalis, where you're producing tons and tons of knives. Like, it is so genuinely difficult to make the knives have a good tune in general, much less this level of tune out of the box. Like, this is so
one of the most complex and insane balisongs I've ever seen. So the person that made it, don't know how to pronounce the first name. Rose Holmberg. She has been in the manufacturing world for 3-4 years now. Had this idea for a long time and wanted to go for it and knew that it was gonna be really complex to manufacture. Nabalis had to go through the most R&D of, I believe, any other product that they've made. 7075 aluminum handles with an aluminum anodization fade, multiple inserts on the handles, and an aluminum faded insert into the blade. They had to go through multiple rounds of development trying to figure out how they were going to do that. The way they ended up doing it was anodizing an entire sheet
and then cutting
of aluminum and then cutting it out.
Whoa.
Instead of like cutting out the pieces and then trying to anodize them individually.
Yeah,
and then finding out a way to get that to fit a metal piece into a already steel, very rigid structure. And I can't pop this.
No, this is not, it's not coming out.
That's not coming out.
No, that's awesome.
And it has a bottle opener, piece there, a piece there, a piece there. Well, on the Volt Pro, the side G10 piece that we had.
That was already complex.
By the time that came
and
out.
the way that that's held in is with the top and bottom pieces of G10s. There's no connection between these side pieces and the top G10. So they're being held in a different way, and I genuinely don't know how yet.
I haven't even flipped it yet, and I feel like I need to buy one.
God.
Think about how much time I've spent dyeing G10. I can make every piece a different color.
Oh my God.
And do a fade on it too. And it's Chinwich. So this is so, how many pieces is this?
7 pieces, not including the hardware, just on one handle.
So not including the hardware, there's 14 separate pieces.
15, 16, 17. 17 individual pieces,
You
not
have the
including the hardware.
Do you know what this costs? What would you guess?
Like 150, maybe even 200.
130.
130?
One flip.
We gotta give it a flip.
Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Oh.
What?
Intriguing. Okay.
What a juxtaposition to
I know.
all the hype that we had. I'm collecting thoughts.
Me too.
I have no definitive thoughts. I'm gathering data.
Chaplin's great.
I'm gathering data.
I don't like the sound as much immediately.
No.
Like it's a little more hollow, a little more plasticky sounding. It kind of sounds like a 3D printed balisong.
A good 3D printed balisong.
Yes.
Like the Cycloid HD.
Like Flipforge Edit, it's very much
The palette.
The palette, like yeah, it very much has that sound. I am a little disappointed with the flipping experience, at least initially. Number one being the weight. It is quite light. However, we did notice there were weights in the packaging, so we are going to try that. So this is something I actually actively had to figure out with the Volt Pro. The places that you decide to put the G10 matter a lot. The places that I wanted to put them on the Volt Pro, I did very intentionally so that they were not uncomfortable. This G10 and the way it is implemented does feel a bit blocky and drier than I would like.
That initial reaction that I had when I first started
It was
flipping
from
it
that
was,
chalkiness.
oh boy, I don't know that I like the feel of that G10.
Yeah, instead of actually rounding the handles, they went with a 45-degree chamfer, which is fine, but it is a 45-degree chamfer and not rounded, so you feel those like sharper lines while you're flipping. The flipping experience so far is pretty good. It's just very light, but it is not the most comfortable flipping experience.
It feels light, but what's interesting is whenever I do a twirl, I feel it lag. It almost feels mildly Nautilus-esque to a certain degree in terms of just the feeling of the G10. Weight-wise and distribution-wise, it's pretty solid, but I don't know that I enjoy the feel in the hand very much.
Yeah.
Let's switch. I wonder if the black G10 and the white G10 feel different.
Oh, they kind of do. Yeah.
Yeah, that G10.
The G10's a bit weird.
Just a little too rough for me. And maybe it's not just the actual G10 itself. It might just be all these defined lines.
Yeah, which add a great amount of grip, but
oh yes, it's extremely, I have no complaints about the grip.
Yeah.
So now that we spent some time flipping these, I wanted to share one of the inspirations. One of her favorite balisongs is the Fellowship Blades Gaboon.
Whoa.
But I bought that at Blade Show West, and it's become one of my favorite balisongs.
Yeah.
And it has one of the coolest anodizations of any balisong I've ever seen, let alone anything in my collection.
The Gaboon is a genuinely slept-on balisong.
Yeah.
I will say the out-of-the-box flipping experience makes a lot more sense when you say that it's inspired by the Gaboon, because it's not the same, but it is in that lighter category, that lighter, floatier sort of feel that the Gaboon has. Okay, so hear me out with this.
No.
Let's take these apart. Let's do a little arts and crafts with one another.
Like I said, this is one of the most complex builds of any balisong ever.
It's so
There's
crazy.
bound to be some wacky shenanigans.
I'm bound to be an American.
Do we want to be American these days?
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
Not anymore.
What's the point? Like,
Oh, whoa, whoa, hey, whoa. Okay, so the side fell out for me. The top part slides on this tiny little edge bit that's like sticking out. The whole spacer is one piece of G10. Is it?
This is such an engineering challenge. Oh my God.
It's not G10.
Is it 3D printed?
It is. Oh my God, look, it's completely different.
Oh my God.
This
it
is
has
crazy.
aluminum, steel and aluminum, G10 in aluminum, and 3D printed in aluminum.
That's crazy. That's so bizarre. Oh my God.
How about you make yours heavier? I'll make mine lighter.
Oh, okay. There,
Remove
I can
2
add
weights?
3 weights.
Oh, you can add 3.
Yeah, mine's gonna be Herbie fully loaded.
Shout out to the mid-2000s kids with that one.
This is one of the most unique balisongs we have ever looked at.
Oh, far and away. And we've looked at a lot of crazy balisongs. Check out the Max Ace unboxing we did with the Max Ace Duke. That was baffling. This is just cool. In terms of the modular weight system aspect of this, this is far and away the most complicated. For a beginner balisong kind of person, I don't know that I could recommend like swapping out the weights. We have taken apart a lot of balisongs, and there are various things where I know that it's not gonna break, but somebody else probably wouldn't know that it's not gonna break.
Someday, I really hope we get to go like tour Nabalis. Like, that would be the craziest thing in the world if we could travel to China and tour Nabalis. If you want to see that, if you want to see us go to China and actually like see how Nabalis makes this stuff,
we'll do it.
First of all, subscribe. Second of all, support us on Patreon, because that's how we make the dream come true, baby.
Yes, yes.
But yeah,
that will not be a cheap dream to achieve.
No, but if you want to see us go all the way to China and see how this is produced, like in their factory, please let us know, because like I think it would be super cool.
I'm giving my screws a good crank with the
I
lighter
gave mine a good crank,
Bally driver.
and it's still okay. No binding even after I cranked it, so that's good.
Okay, that's pretty good.
You
3.
can have up to 6.
Yeah, so mine only has 1.
Yep.
Yours is fully loaded. Fully loaded? Okay.
Yeah, mine is Herbie fully loaded.
Yeah, thanks, Lindsay Lohan. Here we go.
Oh.
Oh, they said. And then they said.
Oh no.
Do you like it significantly less?
Oh no, yeah.
I might like mine more.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I'm super interested to try
Let's give it the twirl test. Yeah, no, I think I like mine more.
Wow. I felt like I wanted more handle bias. I have received far too much handle bias now.
Okay.
Really makes it feel slow.
This feels a little bit more agile. I specifically it's still Chaplin's good, but the twirl feels a lot more responsive, and it doesn't feel like it's dragging quite as much.
All right, ready? Ooh.
Oh, they do sound different.
This one's pretty good.
I don't really dislike this.
Really? Okay.
It's definitely heavier, but that's great. This is a little too handle heavy for you.
Yeah.
But that's where the difference in flipping style
That's true.
heavily comes into play. I do far more simplistic tricks, and you've watched me do virtually the same combo over and over again, whereas Will is just ripping on it in so many different cool ways.
You can go from like pretty freaking light to honestly quite handle heavy in the same balisong, pretty impressive. It's a bit of a chore to get there. This one is super simple, but also it's barely any adjustment really, whereas this is a lot of adjustment, but it's not as simple.
And unfortunately, if you were to go through the process of like, oh, okay, so there's 6 different weights per handle, I'll try all 6 levels of adjustment. That would suck, because you would have to fully disassemble this and reassemble it for every individual pin adjustment, and I can't really recommend people do that.
Yeah.
I don't think I like the flipping experience more than any of the things we unboxed, or the Teflon Volt, or the Volt Pro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's $130.
Yeah.
So the fact that they were able to achieve this level of structural complexity and even get it to this degree that they have,
it's
insane. Incredibly impressive. Out of 10, what would you give this?
Probably give it a 7 out of 10.
Which for us is good.
Yeah,
like,
no.
5 is average, 6 is above
average.
average, 7 is good.
Like,
I already feel my hands getting a little
raw feeling.
Raw from flipping this.
Whereas like this I could flip for way longer, and like I would put, honestly, the Teflon Volt might even be like an 8 for me. Whereas this I really like the design, I really like the functionality. It's not great in my opinion. It is pretty good. I really think just with a little bit of extra smoothing out of some of the literal hard edges, you would have a way better experience.
Both the Reverie and the Overlord, just kind of no nonsense.
Flipping wise, I would rank it, I think that one is my favorite overall. This one is my second favorite flipping wise, but they are both on par flipping wise with one another. This guy, while it's quite good, is just a little bit much for me. I mean, I think you can literally see that in our reactions right near the beginning. We both were like, oh, I want to buy this immediately just from how it looks. And then we flipped it and we were like, no,
Yeah. What I was hoping for was something closer to a well-tuned like Squid Industries Nautilus.
And it just doesn't
quite get there, but it's so close.
Yeah,
My favorite flipping wise is probably this one. It's a little slippery in terms of the grip. I think if we were outside, I would feel a little bit differently. But I really enjoy this one too, and I like the little bit of extra grip. And yeah, probably my least favorite flipping is probably this.
I am very happy to say that all of these are at least extremely cool.
Yeah.
What have we learned?
Even the most random people can make some pretty incredible
that is
designs.
Very true.
And seeing that come from, in some cases, literally just a sketch into
a
something
fully-fledged, finished product.
The fact that these were able to exist at all is just so cool. Extremely generous of Nabalis. R&D and prototyping
so expensive.
Is so expensive. All the time you're spending designing something or doing prototypes of something is time not spent actually making things that will sell.
Yeah.
And so the fact that they put this much time and energy, and I think it is cool that this is what won.
Yeah.
And that this is maybe the only way that this would have existed.
No, this literally couldn't have existed any other way, I don't think. I think you're right.
The fact that Nabalis said, we will make whatever design wins, and the one that won happens to be one of the most complex balisongs that has ever existed. I don't know that this would have come to fruition otherwise.
That is something I really love about this competition. And as they've said, they want to do this again in the future. So when that happens, if this is the peak of what's currently been made, I would love to see what else people can come up with. I think something that has really been shown throughout all of this is that anyone can cook, really. Like, just like Ratatouille says. Brandon.
Ratatouille, a little rat?
A little rat? I really think that anybody can design a balisong and create something extremely cool through this competition that they've run.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel really inspired, I guess. It's inspirational. It's really cool. Yeah. These people sketched these on napkins, and now we have them here.
Yeah. I'm so happy to be able to nitpick these and give feedback and all that.
Right?
They wouldn't have existed otherwise.
Yeah. Thank you, Nabalis, for sending these out. Seriously, we genuinely appreciate it. Thank you to everybody that submitted to the Create with Nabalis competition. Thank you to everyone for participating, because I was having a blast looking through all of the different designs. I think every single one of them was awesome. I think that people did some of the most creative stuff I've ever seen.
Yeah. But so we're thankful to a lot of people. The people that made these, Nabalis for sending them, each other for making the video.
Yep.
Prism for being our camera operator. moderator.
Prism!
We're also thankful for our lovely Patreon supporters.
Patreon supporters!
Who support us for as little as
thank you!
$3 little a month.
$3,
They
baby!
get to see this specific video days before you saw it. And we love our lovely people over there. Who's somebody
true.
off the top of my head?
Would you believe it that $3 a month is more from one person than we make for 1,000 views on one of these videos?
No.
1,000 people looking at one of these videos makes us less than $3. Okay.
Yeah, you've never mentioned that before.
I've never mentioned that before, and I'm not butthurt about it. I don't know what you mean.
We'll definitely be chatting up a storm in the Discord about these because I want to get everybody's feedback.
Yes, MCK Balisong, another awesome VIP patron. Thank you so much. That's a long-term supporter of ours and somebody who's made some really cool stuff in the Balisong community, so check them out on Instagram.
Now, if you'll excuse us, Prism, what do you think of all of these Balisongs at the same exact time?
I don't think.
Oh. That's a strategy.